Hello, everyone, and welcome to round three of the 2021 Academy Series presented to you by GPVWC Sim Racing. My name is Tom Parker, and I'll be taking you through all of the action tonight, thanks to these lovely new talents that we have coming into the league. And today I am joined by Mr. Academy himself, Menno Klont. Menno, how much are you looking forward to tonight's races today?
I'm looking very much forward to tonight's racing because it also gives a bit of an idea what we can expect from the new talent this year. So yeah, looking forward.
Lovely stuff. So we've got 12 lap races ahead of you today after a 15-minute qualifying session, which is just about to get underway as the green light goes off and away they go for their qualifying sessions. Qualifying, like I said, 15 minutes long, private session as well. So there will be no other cars for these guys on circuit, just them, just 15 minutes putting the best lap they can. Obviously, we're around the Melbourne circuit here in Australia. 12 laps race length, like I said, 5.3 kilometre track length or 3.2 miles, if you like it in that sense. And we are very much looking forward to see what these guys can do. Obviously, Melbourne, traditional season opener for most people. Obviously, needs to be the first race of the week for us in Melbourne. Obviously, we have Formula Challenge tomorrow and Super Cup on Thursday. So plenty of action this week from Melbourne. And obviously, next week we go into the main events of Super League Lights and Super League. In the practice session that preceded this, Guillaume Branson went fastest with a 36.6, which is pretty quick pace in any series, really. Actually, for these cars, obviously these cars are identical to the Formula Challenge ones that we have just in the next rung of the career ladder. Menno, obviously we've had some amazing drivers come through Academy before. What sort of guys do you think we're going to be looking out for today?
Well, definitely the one you want to watch out for is I think Guillaume Branson. Of course, he's I think the one with the most experience in GPV on this grid. So that will be very interesting what he can do. Also because he topped the practice session. Another guy to watch out for is Damien Scoron. He won the two races 2 weeks ago in Kialami. So I think he will be near the front as well. So let's see if he can add more podiums or even wins today. And I think for the rest, you've got a lot of people who actually can do well. So I think it's those small things. The good lap you can actually get out in qualifying, which will make the difference because everybody will be really close today. I expect that.
Obviously, so as we are on board with Stefan Schreider in the lovely teal-coloured car. He's taking us through now towards the end of Sector 1. What makes this circuit challenging, man? Obviously, like I said, very popular both in the real world and in the sim racing world to be starting off a season. What sort of track do you think this suits? Do you think this suits someone who's more of a street circuit specialist, obviously this being a sort of pseudo street circuit, as it were, or do you think it suits someone who's a bit more experienced?
I think the more experienced sim racing driver will do better here because we've got a lot of really fast corners, and that's really difficult actually to do right. You can do it right once or twice, but to do it every time, every lap, that requires some good skill. So I think the more experienced sim racing driver will love this more and will do naturally do better. Yeah. That's what I actually think. So yeah, interesting if if we will see that in qualifying. But yeah, I think the more experienced guys will be at the front.
Yep, and like I said, that's something you usually see throughout the series. But fingers crossed, like I said, we can see some of these new talents in the league shine through as we coming through to the end of these first qualifying laps. Stefan now is about to cross the line. I mean, obviously these purple sectors are obviously a bit misleading, but there he goes into third place. It stands at 38.647.
Yeah,
so
well,
the time's now flowing through. Yep, you go. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, we've got Patrick Magnussen with a purple sector 1 and a purple sector 2. Can he go faster than the current fastest time, I think, from Remco de Zeeuw? We will see that quite soon, if he can. Let me look. And yeah, he does with a 136.982. So a new fastest lap. And I see a lot of people doing fast laps. And I believe we got a new leader, our new P1, that's Guillaume Branson, with a 136.842.
Yep, so Brandon, like you said, one to look out for, goes top of the session as we stand. 33-2 in the first sector. Oh, actually, he just left the server, actually. So,
yeah. But I already...
Barrington's back top. Yeah, Barrington at the top initially.
Yeah. I already see more and more people putting in purple sectors, so the track is improving. At least that's what it looks like. That it's just getting a bit better and people getting their good laps in. Let me see, Damien Scoron had a very good second sector, jumps to P3. Now got Luke Mitchell with a fastest first sector. Where will he jump to?
Yeah, he's just come through the middle sector now, just going to the final corners of the lap. Obviously on board with him now in the red Academy car. Lost a couple of attempts in the middle sector, but like I said, purple through that first sector, coming through these final couple of corners. Now this corner in particular, actually very tricky to get right. Lots tighter than it looks. This one nice and open. Full throttle in these cars, and now he goes down to the end. DRS open, and Luke Mitchell, after having, like I said, setting a purple first sector, jumps up into pole position as it stands with a 1:36.979. Obviously waiting for Branson to get back.
Yeah, so that would be P2 behind Branson if Branson returns. So, but it was still quite a good lap. So it is quite close. We have more and more laps in. We already have got, I believe, 28 people sending a lap time, and it's quite close. So it looks good. I think the most important of the whole quali is, of course, getting all the sectors right and getting three really good sectors. And that's actually the difficult thing here. You can drive for the first sector really good, but then you can make a big mistake in the second sector. That's what makes this circuit quite unique. It's very difficult to get all the three sectors combined, I would say. So that's something you need to train for. And for now, I think Guyon has that. Guyon Branton has got the edge on the rest of the field at the moment. But we still have 8.5 minutes, and it's all very close at this moment.
Yep, like I said, 8.5 minutes to go. Scaron has just gone top of the session as it stands at the moment. Obviously, we're waiting for Branton to get back into the server. But Damien Scaron, like you said, one to look out for, has won the previous two iterations of. I think he's won the last two race ones, hasn't he, of Academy Series? So 36.962, top three actually, in as they are in the session at the moment, separated by 0.02. So I think this is really good to show, man, how close actually the Academy can be.
It's so close at the moment that it's and I think it would only get better the next 5-6 minutes. I think more and more people will get to that limit of the track, and we've now got 4 people in the 136. I expect at least 3-4 more if they get the right lap out. Let me see. We've got some purple sectors at the moment. Yes, Remco de Zeeuw with fastest second sector. But I'm not sure if he improved. He did now a 1:37.2, and he spun, I heard. But he had a good second sector, so also a guy which you want to note that he's doing better and better. Remco de Zeeuw, I believe 2 weeks ago. He finished in P3 in Kilami in the first race, which was really impressive because he just keeps learning every time he's driving. Remco de Zeeuw was a guy that started sim racing at GPV last year, and then he was a bit at the back, was in a few incidents. It was a bit unlucky, but you now see him growing into the role and naturally progressing in the top of the Academy series, so that's a good thing to see. Another good thing to see is that Patrick Kerr Magnussen now went P1 with a 1:36.661. So that's even faster than what Guyon Branton did before. So he now has got 3/10 on P2, which is Damien Scoren. So Patrick Kerr Magnussen from Iceland is actually looking really impressive at the moment. Tom, what do you think? Iceland, ever been there?
I'd love to. I'd love to go to Iceland. It'd be really nice, actually. How about you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I've never been to Iceland. I would like to go to Iceland someday. I think will not be very soon, but they also have got sim racing talent there, and it's an impressive lap what he did. So that's looking good. Let me look at the live timing at the moment. I see some green lap times, so a lot of improvements from several guys.
Yeah, so it's like I said, still got 5 minutes left. Still plenty of time for these guys to improve. Obviously, the track will be rubbering in as this session goes on. So still more and more laps coming through, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we're getting towards the end of the lap. Obviously, Sky Run. I think this one's going to be a little bit slower. I think a bit of a sloppy middle sector, but maybe he's going to be setting himself up for another lap now as he crosses the line. Yeah, so he's just going to be setting up for another lap now as he goes through turn 1.
Yeah. Well, I got a message from Guillaume Branson that he's got a game issue at the moment. That's why he didn't rejoin earlier. So he's currently looking into that. And let me look what the live timing says is that everybody apart from Stan Vlietstra, Anna Mosgoer and Casper Riccio set a lap time currently in this session. So yeah, I think those three might have some minor issues they want to know, they want to resolve now, and hopefully they they can put in some decent laps at the end of this qualifying session.
Yep, still plenty of time to get round in time for another couple of laps. As we just go through the final couple of calls of Dylan Platt, obviously has set 2 PB sectors on this lap now coming around the final corner. Can he challenge the guys towards the top? Obviously, like I said, a new PB for him in these first 2 sectors. He crosses the line and sets a 1:36.772, just missing out on top spot, but now into overall second place as Branson, I see, has now got back into the server.
Yeah, and that makes it now that we've got 5 people in the 136, with Mateusz Guzowski, if I pronounce that correctly, just shy of that 136. So yeah, I would say that it's definitely possible for a few more guys to get in the 136, and yeah, the 136 group is of course a very popular group to be in. Yeah, so that looks all quite good. Let's see who's improving. I see Angelos Psaris in 32nd position now with 2 green personal best sectors. He actually improved a bit, but still stays 32nd. Kevin Voice also improved to a 139.1. Let's see, anybody else improving at the moment? Not really in the sector times, so we need to wait if they can do it later. We still got 3 minutes to go in this session.
Yeah, just on board with Philip Morby, set 2 PB sectors as well through the first 2 sectors. Has to try a little bit off into this tricky final corner. So again, tricky final couple of corners. These the sector 3 is actually deceptively hard around here, isn't it, Manu? It's a lot tighter than it looks. Some of these corners. Can you explain why that is so tricky, really? As Philip just quickly pops up into. Oh, it starts a new time.
Yeah, and we've got Luke Mitchell now with a purple sector 2, so I want to wait for his lap time if he can improve. What can he do, Luke Mitchell? He's looking pretty fast today. He jumps to 2nd position. Ooh, nice. 1:36.739. Getting back on the 3rd sector, I think it's pretty difficult to keep momentum in the 3rd sector. You want to, of course, be as fast as possible, but you also want to take a lot of exit speed through all those corners, and actually doing that while having maintaining the balance in the whole 3rd sector and having a good acceleration out of the second to last corner. That's quite difficult to all do it at once. It's possible to get at 95%, but to get close on the limit of the car, that's difficult in the 3rd sector. So that's at least how I saw it with those guys. So yeah.
No, you're right. It's a good mix of corners as well. Because obviously the first couple of corners of sector 3, is that menacing fast chicane left-right, and obviously I think we're going to see quite a few incidents there. You have seen them over the years, but as Patrick Magnusson showed us how it's done there, and he's now just a little bit shy of his best lap. Can he improve as he comes down the final corner? He was half a tenth down on his best time going over the 2nd sector line. puts DRS open, slams it down the throttle over to the line, and sets a 1:36.7, so cannot improve by just under a tenth. As now Skoron is on some purple sectors.
Purple sector from Skoron, it looks really good. First and second sector purple. He won the last 2 races at Kilami. This guy is just, really good. And can he do it? Can he go for the pole position or the current fastest lap time? Of course, we will have another minute, of course, before everybody really is done. What can he do? And he goes to a 1:26.498. That's really impressive. So that's, I think this will be pole position, or can somebody beat that time? But he did really good. Like on the last lap he could do, he did it. So really good lap from Damien Skoron. Let's see if somebody will be close on the actual lap.
So Guillaume Brandon has started a lap, currently in 5th place, just gone over sector 1 at 33.058. So he is currently about half a tenth down on Skoron's time. We know Branton can go even faster than he has done already. So can Branton steal it right at the death? As obviously Skoron and Magnussen now in the pits, so will not be able to complete another lap this session. Now going over sector 2 line, he is up on his time, but is still currently less than a tenth down. Can he nail sector 3 to try and take this pole position away from Skoron, denying another chance at a victory today? Going through these last couple of right-handers here, very tricky corners here. You've got to take too much speed and lose it on the exit, but he does that quite nicely. Next one, probably one of the hardest corners on the track. Little lift there, but lovely corner there. Yeah. Now down into first or second gear for this one. It gets a little bit shaky off the corner there.
Pole position will be difficult. Pole position will be difficult, I think, but a P2 can definitely be, or will it be pole position? Will be very interesting. What will it be for Guillaume? He goes pole position! He goes pole position with fastest session purple sector 3, and I'm actually pretty shocked about that, because I calculated a bit and I was like, oh, he's not going to get pole, but he actually got pole with an amazing 3rd sector. So Guillaume Branton now got pole position, and I think nobody is improving, or is somebody. I think Marco Frelik is still improving. What can he do? He's got a green sector 1. Let me see. Marco Frelik does improve his lap time, but not his position. So I believe this is the qualifying done. So it's Guillaume Branton who gets his first Academy Series pole position. Second is Damien Skoron with Patrick Kerr Magnusson in P3, with Luke Mitchell in P4 and Dylan Platt in P5. Back to you, Tom.
Yeah, just getting a little note to say that Nizio in 35th. He's been pretty strong so far in Academy this season, and he actually crashed, so we'll be starting towards the back. I don't quite see him on the server. Oh, he's just in 10th. There we are. So interesting to see. There's some guys who've already impressed in the Academy this season, not quite where they should be, but yes, Branton obviously at the top of the times, as you can see there on the beautiful overlay that has been made this year for the GPVWC Sim Racing Series, all across the board. Yeah, Branton in pole position with 36.412, like I said, final sector. Absolutely blew everyone out of the water. It was a couple of attempts faster than Skoron in that final sector alone. So that is truly where he made the pace on the rest of the field. So good stuff, especially considering he had a bit of an iffy couple seconds last corner as well. Missed the apex by a tiny little amount. So good stuff from Branton there. Do you expect him to go on to win this race? Obviously, like I said, very experienced driver in these cars, in fact, as well. Obviously, driven these sort of similar cars last year in Formula Challenge. Do you think you can see him going on to win at least his first race?
Well, he's of course is the favorite now, but I think it all depends on the start. I think if he can get a bit of a gap between him and Damien Skoron, then he can win. I think if he can pull away at the first few laps, then I think Guillaume will win. If Damien stays close, then Damien could very well have a chance for the lead. So it's all depending on the start, but I will give Guillaume a high chance to win it. Yeah.
So we've got 10 minutes of warm-up ahead of us, just so drivers can get ready. Obviously now going from their qualifying fuel loads up to their race fuel loads now. 12 laps ahead of us here. 2 races as well. Top 15 will be reversed for race 2 from the results. So basically, Menno, obviously, like I said, we've got 5 rungs of the ladder here at GPVWC in the career ladder. Obviously started the Super League all the way down to Academy. Just give us an overview of what Academy is basically. So what are we looking for in Academy? Are we looking for some new talent? Is it just an opportunity for some people to lose some of the rust that they've had for a couple of years from not racing? What is Academy all about?
Well, Academy is actually a proving ground for new sim racing talents, but also for talent like people who have been out of sim racing for a couple of years and want to try it again. You want to give them a platform where they can just drive with no pressure, and that's what Academy is about. You get good coaching, and it's the first step of the ladder, I would say, and yeah, just helps people forward, especially into Formula Challenge and Super Cup. So it's proven ground, I would say, and a lot of talents we now have in the higher leagues, even in Super League or in Super League Light, even Super Cup, who are now winning races there or will be winning races there. They started here, just tried laps, getting some good help on setups and how to set up your wheel and those things, and they learn, they improve, and they will be the stars of tomorrow. That's what it is actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. Yeah, so like I said, we've had some great drivers come through the Academy Series. One that sticks out in my mind, Fabio Sixter, did one of his first races here at GPVWC in the Academy Series, and he is now a Super League race winner. Obviously, as you know, he won a race in Bahrain last year in top level of the series. So, like I said, we've had plenty of people come through the series, and obviously you could be the next one. You could be the next Sixter, the next one to win these Super League races. So it's great to see that we have a wealth of talent coming through the league. And obviously, if you want to join us, obviously we welcome you with open arms. Menno, what can they do? How do you join an Academy race? If you're looking for the news viewers today, what can they do to help try and get involved in this?
Well, what I would do is search our website, and we should have a link there to our Discord, and then we can help you forward and on track. So I think it's wise if you have Discord installed that you will join us there, because our community is quite big on Discord. But also you can visit our website and get in touch with us, and then we will help you if you want to start racing here. So it's a very cool environment with a lot of nice people and people who want to help. So so if you think, oh, I want to do this, I'm not sure how good I will be against all those guys, but I want to give it a shot, and join us, and we will give you some good coaching and help to get it give you a bit of a boost and a good start.
Absolutely. Obviously, Menno, you yourself have helped a few drivers over the years. Obviously, helped get started away here at GPVWC, and it's great to see them all making their way through the leagues. So I want to give a quick shout out to Robin Panzer and Chris Williamson. Obviously, very, very involved with making this year's car. Obviously, all throughout the series, not just in the Academy and Formula Challenge, but throughout the career. So, big thank you to those two for getting these cars, which are pretty much built from scratch. Actually, so the car models are pretty much the same, but the physics themselves, obviously, pretty much brand new for this year. So, a big thank you to those two for producing what actually are really 4 fantastic cars. Really, when you look at them, really, obviously, I myself am involved in Formula Challenge this year. You yourself are involved in Super Cup, I believe. So, obviously, both driving different series, and really, really impressive so far this year. So, big thanks to you, and obviously, we're looking forward to racing these cars all throughout the next couple of weeks around the leagues coming up. So, with 5 minutes to go of warm-up, still got just a little bit more time for these guys to practice. Currently, fastest time of the race times that we can see. Alfie Vocamen. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one, I'm afraid, but yeah, Alfie's got a 38.2, so obviously a little bit slower than you were seeing in qualifying. What main differences in terms of your mindset would you have to make now, Menno? Obviously, you're a new driver coming in. Okay, you've just done potentially your first qualifying session here at the league. Right, now you've got to get into a race. Obviously, a different race format for Academy this year, going to the 2 races with the reverse grid rather than the 1 longer race. What sort of things do you now need to think about when you're going into a race rather than your qualifying session?
Well, what you want to test in a warm-up like this, you want to just get the feeling how the car will react with a bit of more fuel in. doing a qualifying run, of course, with low fuel, the car will feel a bit different than with more fuel. So you want to, well, test that. How does it feel when you go around the corner? Does it feel different because there is more a bigger fuel load, so more kilograms of fuel? What you also want to do is potentially do a test start. So how good will you be from the line? How's your response time? That's something you want to test in the warm-up. And I think a third thing which you can test is getting close behind one or two rivals to see if there is some dirty air into some of the corners. I think those three things is a thing you can do. You can look into, and for the rest, it's just getting a bit relaxed. You just pushed an amazing qualifying lap out, and now is it all about doing 12 really good laps and having a few good battles towards the end of the race. So that's what it's all about, and let's see what all those guys can do, especially the new guys. It will be quite hectic, I think, into turn 1, turn 2. But I think that's it, Tom.
No, that's a good explanation. Yeah, very well. Like I said, it's a very different car, isn't it? At the end of the day, qualifier, you can go as hard as you want, absolutely destroy the tyres, and obviously you're not going to be using any fuel really in that tank. Obviously now you've got pretty much in comparison a much heavier car. You've got to think about how you're going to make the tyres last a little bit longer over these 12 laps. And you've just got to make sure you're basically on it, really. Like I said, making your starts correct, making sure you've got your clutch point set potentially. So lots of things to do in these 10 minutes. It's really not really enough, but obviously, like I said, plenty of laps and plenty of drivers that know what they're doing. And obviously these new guys will be using this time to experience potentially a higher fueled car for the first time. But 2.5 minutes, just over 2 minutes left now. And like I said, turn 1 to 2 can be quite interesting. It does tighten up there quite a lot. We've seen both in the sim racing world and in the real life world that turn 1 to 2 can be quite can get quite hectic, quite busy. What would you say is your tips to these newcomers to try and be careful through these first couple of corners?
Well, what I would do is never brake too late into turn 1. That's never a good idea. Just try to brake on your a bit before the braking point, which you normally will do. Just look what the guys in front of you do, and just actually, I would say, survive the first lap, because it will be quite chaotic with 36, 37 drivers now. So just survive that, and mainly into sector 2 and sector 3 it will be quite difficult. We've got the fast left right there, and I think that will be very difficult with 37 cars, because it's such a fast corner that if you miss the idle steering point, it will put you off, and it will be a potential difficult corner in the first few laps, I would say. So it will be very interesting to see how those guys will do. But I trust them. They try their best to make a good show for us.
Absolutely, like you said, it's just all part of the experience, really, learning how to do it. It's a bit of a tough track, really, for this one, isn't it, really, for as we see next year into the wall. We can see what happens when you get the fast chicane wrong here at Melbourne. But the track isn't the most forgiving, is it, in terms of runoffs and in terms of grass? Obviously, there's not really any real runoff, is there, really? It's like all mainly grass, so it's quite important to make sure you keep all 4 tyres on the track. And especially, as you said, it can get very, very busy into these first couple of corners here at Melbourne. So just taking it easy, doing about 90% rather than 100% into these first couple of corners. Just survive the first lap, and then you can make your way round the corners and try and improve your positions, obviously, unless you're a Mr. Branton, who at the front will obviously be trying to keep that position as the checkered flag comes out for this warm-up session. And Dennis Shenkov's actually set a very, very fast time of 37.5. Actually, as long as Farley Furge also down setting of 37.5. Very quick times here, Menno. Obviously, we're not sure how much fuel they're going to have in the car, but so look at some pretty fast times here in the warm-up session.
Yeah, I think they're just trying really hard to change a bit of the feeling, and just trying to keep the focus, keep the momentum in the car. And I think Dennis did quite a good lap, if that's with race fuel. Of course, need to remind you that the qualifying session we just saw was a private session, and now we'll actually have competitors. You can see the competitors on track, so he could have had a small tow on one of the main straights or one of the back straights. So that could also be a factor which you want to test now. Maybe the car went a bit quicker because he was close to another guy. I don't know. So it was a good lap time from Dennis. So he I think will top the warm-up session unless somebody will go faster.
It's a small bag of bragging, right, isn't it? At least he knows that he's got the pace in race, so hopefully he can keep that going throughout the session. 12 laps coming up in the next couple of seconds. If you have any questions for us in the YouTube chat, me and Menno will do our best to answer what we can. Obviously, like I said, Menno very, very involved with the running of the Academy Series here. Obviously, big thanks to him for getting this all set up in the last couple of years, really, and helping the drivers develop, really. And like I said, we've seen some great talents come through the series in the past. Obviously, new names and old haven't come back. Obviously, last race, our Mr. Overlord himself, Will Panisi, took part. Didn't go the best. We won't explain how well he did. But yeah, it's fun for everyone. And I think there's always a battle for everyone in the field as we now run over the warm-up and we are now heading into the race session. Menno, do you have any predictions for this race, or do you think there's going to be a surprise winner out of this field?
Yeah, well, I think it will go between Branton and Scoron. They looked really quick over one lap, and I think the race pace will be pretty good. Anybody else, can potentially be very close, but how close, I'm not sure. Maybe Patrick Magnussen or Luke Mitchell can get really close on race pace, but we shall see about that.
Lovely stuff as Mr. R Factor Man does his usual message, and the drivers now start going on to the grid for the formation lap here. Obviously, here at GPVWC, we do a full formation lap, so it gives the drivers a chance to check warm their tyres up, warm their brakes up in preparation for the race. So 12 laps of this very tight and twisty Melbourne circuit. Obviously, not quite a Monaco or a Baku in terms of your walls, but still quite close nonetheless. As we just wait now for the timer to tick over and get ready. Like Menno said, we have 36 runners and riders here today for this Academy race. Pretty good turnout for the first time of the season and for the first couple of races. That's Bjorn Branton, who starts on pole position, gets us away from the line. Then we are followed by Damien Scoron, like Menno said, winner of the previous two races here in the Academy Series. So he has got a lot to prove against quite tough competition today, actually, in Bjorn Branton. And then third place is Patrick Magnussen. Fourth place, Luke Mitchell. Dylan Platt rounds out the top five there in qualifying in fifth. Mateusz Guzowski is in sixth place with Marco Fröhlich in seventh, followed by Remco de Joux. Great stuff then from him in eighth place, followed by Stefan Strider in ninth. And rounding out the top 10 is Casper Nizio, one that I've had a few people say to me that we should be looking out for. He's done quite well on the Academy this year, so he is one that we should be looking out for as this race progresses. Then into 11th place, Alfie for Salmon is in that place with Lazarus Filipakos, obviously one of the two controller drivers that I know of in this series, in this field today, obviously Guillaume Branton being the other one, so Lazarus in 12th. Van der Staan in 13th, followed by Phil Morby in 14th place. Kujic in 15th with Pishenko, very, very quick in the warm-up, remember, topping that warm-up session, currently in 16th, so it'll be interesting to see him come back through the field. Radek Search in 17th place, followed by Villestra in 18th place. Perseus Miriam, as we saw, had a couple of issues there in the qualifying session, but now in 19th place, followed by John McLean in 20th. 21st would have been Kevin Voigt, but it doesn't look like he's actually left the pit lane, so he'll be going for a pit lane start today. Next is a name that I'm about to absolutely butcher, so I'm going to apologise in advance. Papa Georgiou in 22nd place, followed by Lepit in 23rd. Ed Straw in 24th place with Alex Skinner returning to the league for the first time in the last couple of years in 25th place. John Clark in 26th, and I've seen a prediction for him in the top 10 in the YouTube comments. Thank you very much. Let's get your predictions in quickly before the end of the section. Let us know who you think is going to win this race today. Harry Hayden, 27th place with Dennis Varenga in 28th. David Luiz, no, not that one, in 29th place, followed by Sonveld in 30th. Jessica Pelletier in 31st, followed by Sinis in 32nd. Neuenberg 33rd, Saris in 34th, Oscar in 35th, and Ryan Easton rounds out your field for today, this first race in our Academy series. Like I said, 2 races coming up, your 12 laps each, and we are about to head onto the grid for this first race. Nice and dry conditions here today in Melbourne as the last drivers now suddenly get lined up. Quick prediction, Menno. So you're going to say Branson?
Definitely Branson, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to go against you and say someone else. I'm going to say Scoron. Though now the driver's just lining up, waiting for these 5 red lights to get ready for this first race. We are just waiting for them to I think there's just a few stragglers at the back. Going to be a very high intensity. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 5 red lights, and we are waiting. And it is go for the first race of the Melbourne Prix. We have had a good start there from Branson. Scoron getting alongside him, but these two really have pulled away from Magnussen. Magnussen had a bit of a poor start, but into turn 1 we go. Branson holds the lead from Scoron. Magnussen also gets through ahead, and looks like pretty clean in the first half of the field.
Yeah, Dylan Platt had a good start. He's now in P4, while Patrick Magnussen is looking at Damian Scoron and tries to battle him for P2. He's trying to go around the outside, but he doesn't really get the drive out of that corner. Let's see. We got some chaos now. Everything seems to be going well. Everybody's sensible for the first few corners. No drama in the backfields. Let's see. I think everything looks quite okay at the moment.
I think they're putting the bad boys to show, aren't they? Great start there from the Academy guys. Yeah, so through turn 1 and 2. Fairly safely from what we can tell, so good stuff there. Like I said, great start from Dylan Platt into 4th, and actually Magnussen battling Scoron for 2nd place. But this is the sort of start that Dion Branson needed now, but he's already got a half a second lead going through first sector.
And then I'll go to around the fast left-right corner, and it's still Branson that leads, then it's Scoron, and then it's Patrick Magnussen, who had a great drive out of the first corner, and yeah, just went for it and didn't make it last. So it looks pretty good from Patrick at the moment. You know, some people question how good he really is, but this is a young guy from Iceland, and he only gets better. So yeah, good lap from him. Well, we now have the first lap completed with Guillaume Branson now in the lead, and then Damien in P2. But Damien is pretty fast on the straights, and if we will see DRS, then it will be very interesting for Branson. I said to you before, Branson can win this, but he needs to, I think, get a bit more margin to Scoron, because Scoron is pretty good in the second half of the race. You just see the focus of Damien. Yeah, Damien can follow quite easily now. Patrick can follow Damien quite easily. Dylan Platt is now losing a bit of the touch to Patrick Kerr. While Luke Mitchell now is in P5, so it looks good. We've got Mateusz Guzowski in P6, Remco de Zeeuw in P7 with Kasper Dicio P8, Marco Felix in P9, and the top 10 will be 10th place for Alvi Verkamen.
Yeah, Mashenko's made a good start as well, from 16th up into 12th place, so maybe he can start to unleash some of that pace that he was showing in the warm-up. But let's go back to the battle for P2. Damien Scoron had a bit of an iffy exit from there, and Pat Magnussen's going to have a look, but decides against it. Going to there, actually Scoron's breaking so late compared to these guys around him. Like you said, once DRS opens, he will have a good chance to try and overtake the lead of Branson going on to lap 3. So DRS will be open from next lap onwards. As we now round the final corner, Branson leads, and these top 3, like you said, they're making a little bit of a breakaway now from Dylan Platt, but Dylan's not exactly miles away. But, seems like Luke Mitchell now as well, just a little bit off the pack. You see more snaking around to try and take that slipstream away. As Damien Scoron actually sets the fastest after race so far. Oh, there goes Magnussen off. Shows what happens when you just break a little bit too late, and he's now lost. Oh, he's just tapped the wall as well, luckily to keep his front wing. But has now lost a place to Dylan Platt and potentially to Luke Mitchell as well. Yep, to Luke Mitchell, so down to 5th.
Yeah, he will not have damage, so let's see if he can keep up the speed he had before, or if he will actually have problems now he got damage, because he touched the wall a little bit, but he still looks pretty racy and wants to get past Luke Mitchell for P4. So yeah, a little mistake from the man from Iceland, while Damian's core is really close to Guyon. I think this is close enough at the moment. He doesn't want to be closer, at least not in the fast corners, because that will give a bit of understeer, I predict. So I think he is waiting for DRS when he can open it again. So yeah, he's got a good run. He's much quicker than Guyon on the straight, and that's kind of interesting. Oh, they touch again, but Guyon was in front when they turned in. So Guyon had all rights to defend it a bit, but Damian looks really good on the straight, said Tom. He looks to have decent top speed, and this is a big worry for Guyon, I would say.
Yeah, so Branson will now know what he needs to do to try and defend the position he's got. I don't think Scoron's going to have enough time to get it. I say that, actually. He's going to go to the outside. Scoron sets another fast enough race. He's going to try and go on the outside of turn 1. I'll be impressed if he can do it there. Backs off there. Ooh, that gets a little bit loose on the exit of 2 as well. So just about gets away. Now can Dylan Platt take advantage of that and go into P2? That'd be great stuff from Platt. And just working his way up, avoiding any of these incidents and just avoiding it. Managed to crucially keep DRS going into there. Scoron keeps the inside line. And manages to just about keep things. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3.
We've got
Ashenko out. Dennis Ashenko is actually out of this race.
We've got several people now losing the front wing. I think there's coming together. This Dennis Ashenko actually is driving again. He did change his nose cone. Dennis Wiedenga is also in. Alex Kinner is in with a lost front wing. A lost front and rear wing for Kevin Boyce. And Harry Hayden lost a rear wing. So we've got a few people, I think, involved in an incident. So they needed to change for a new nose or a new rear wing.
We've got a battle between Nizio and Zhu going side by side up towards the far chicane, and Nizio does manage to sneak past the Zhu into 7th place. Nizio did say he wants to look out for it. He's now made up 3 places and now gone to the back of Luke Mitchell in 6th place. He's making some good progress.
He's making some decent progress, yes. It's all about just delivering the a constant rhythm. Like you want to put in 12 lap times, which are like quite close to each other. And you see what Patrick Kerr did before. He made one mistake, and that already cost him 2 places. So yeah, you need to have a good rhythm.
Absolutely. So now we've got Dejoux, who's probably feeling a little bit down because he's had a couple of people overtake him. Now going to have Marco Felix looking down the inside into 1. Marco locks up the inside front but gets the car stopped in time. Great move there from Marco to get that car stopped just in time to take the corner and take 8th place away from Dejoux.
Yes. So getting back, our top 10 is now Stefan Scheider in P10 with Remco de Zeeuw in P9 with Marco Felix in P8, Kasper Nietzsche in P7 with Luke Mitchell in P6, Mateusz Guzowski, if I pronounce that correctly, in P5. Patrick Kerr Magnussen now in P4, but he is losing the touch with the top 3, so I think he will have a bit of problem with the pace after the wall ride. So P3 is now for Dylan Platt, who is actually very racy, and he can follow number 2 Damien Scoron quite well. And Bjorn Bronson now actually is, I think, at least 1.5 seconds, if not more, away from Damien Scoron. So that's our top 10 now.
Now on board with Dylan Platt in 3rd place as he tries to chase down Damien Scoron for that 2nd place on the podium. And how important is it that these two are battling? Obviously, Scoron's now going to be thinking more about behind him than in front of him, as Scoron actually locks up, manages to get the car turning still quite nicely for that corner. How important is this going to be now for Guillaume to just get his head down, get going, and try and make a gap as these two try and battle away for that 2nd step on the podium?
I think very important because I think even without DRS, Damien Scoron looked to be a bit faster on the main straights. So yeah, Damien cannot get too close because he otherwise could, I think, overtake Guillaume. Because Guillaume is trying really hard, but if the car doesn't have to set up right with more top speed, then Damien can pass him. So I think Guillaume needs to push really hard to make sure the gap stays the same. That what he now has, that's enough. So he needs to try to keep the status quo.
He does indeed, as he actually took 4 attempts out of Scoron on that lap to now go 2 seconds clear of the pack, as actually Luke Mitchell just set fastest lap of the race then in 6th place, 37.9. On board with him as we speak, following his car, as he's now right to the back of the Grzelski and Magnussen train. Magnussen actually had a bit of a poor lap last one, a 39.2, enabling the guys behind him to close up. You've got a nice little freeway train going there. Magnussen leads him into the fast left-right, followed by Grzelski and Mitchell. Good Mitchell actually, as a that's a bit of a car there. Going to avoid that, as Mitchell now had to slipstream, had to DRS open, really try and make a move into this corner. Obviously, Grzelski has the stream as well, but cannot quite. Will not make any silly moves this time. He's going to try and pick his place for his pass and make his progress through that way. Where do you think on this track, Menno, is a sensible place to pass rather than launching up on the inside of only every corner?
Definitely, I would say after turn 2, because it's quite a hard braking zone there, so you can try it after turn 2, but also after turn 1. Those two would be the best overtaking zones, and I think those two would be ideal. Also with the DRS, which would of course make it a bit more easy to at least try to get next to your rival. So I would say those two.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you there, as Mitchell now just lost contact with Grzelski a bit as he's just closing up on Magnussen very slightly. Skowron actually sets fastest lap of the race, trading fastest laps with the guys around him. Now does a 37.8, which was a 4/10 gain on Branson, so now back to what the gap was lap 4 at 1.6 seconds. And is Branson potentially now struggling with tyre wear? Obviously, as we know, he drives on a controller. Very, very quick considering he's on that controller, but obviously tyre wear will affect him as much. Do you think he's now starting to slip back into the clutches as Skowron?
I would not think that would be the case, not at the moment. I think he should have more than enough tyres at this moment of the race. If he would struggle with tyres, I would be surprised. I think he should have it all under control. Maybe he doesn't want to go much quicker because he overheats the tyres. That could be potentially be a thing, but I think in terms of tyre life, I think Guyon should be okay.
As we now see in sector 3, we've got Magnussen having to defend from Grzelski into the first two right-handers, and manages to keep it well, but Luke Mitchell also had a little sniff out the inside of Grzelski going into the second of the right-handers, but he did manage to keep it away. Will they try and make a move down into the first corner?
Close. Oh, we've got Luke Mitchell now. There he comes. Will he try it into turn 1? He is trying it. Oh, not much room he gave there to Guzovsky, so it was a bit of a it was a move which was maybe a bit over the edge, but he got past. So let's see if Mateusz Guzowski can get back to it. I think Luke Mitchell now wants to go for Patrick Magnussen in P4 again. Luke Mitchell seems to be really quick. Also, I believe he got the fastest lap a few laps ago, so seems to be feeling really good. So that's good to see. I think Patrick might have a problem in a few laps.
Potentially do as my internet started to drop for a second, but I am now back and can see the action again. It's now on board Stefan Schreider in 10th place, currently still following Remco de Joux. Remco's had a bit of a tough race so far, but is still managing to hold off the attention of Schreider as we go into this left-right-hander. Very, very quick here, very easy to lose the car. Actually, as you see there, as de Joux goes off. Actually, Remco, Remco does go off there, but actually, funny enough, Schreider did just set the fastest middle sector of the lap then. Fastest middle sector of the race, so far. So clearly pushing pretty hard and managed to force Remco into a mistake there.
Yeah, and Guillaume Brunson now has a real big problem because Damon Scorn now has DRS on Guillaume. Oh, will he give it away? Will Damien win this race then? Oh, he's getting closer and closer, but Guillaume still has the lead. I think it's half a second, but with DRS, Damien will get closer and closer every meter he drives. Well, Dylan Platt actually can't follow the top two, Tom. Dylan Platt was close to Damien. Did Damien just up his pace, or does Dylan just isn't he be able to follow at the moment? What do you think?
So interestingly, actually, out of the three drivers, Brandon, Skowron and Platt, actually Brandon is the slowest of the three so far. So maybe these tyres are starting to overheat just a little bit as we get into the latter stages of this race, lap 9 of 12. of this first race here at Melbourne. And Branson, the last lap, did a 38.7, Platt at 38.5, and Skoron at 38.1. So, yes, Skoron is the fastest of the drivers, but Platt as well. Yes, it's not quite as fast as Skoron, but he is actually starting to reel Branson back in. So we could see a three-way fight as we now. This is a bit of an exit there, but a little bit too far back potentially for this corner, but essentially work his way up for an overtaking.
Yeah, but Luke Mitchell now has a run on Patrick Magnussen with DRS. Can he go to the inside? No. Patrick blocks the inside. Luke Mitchell goes around the outside. No, doesn't work. Good work from Patrick Magnussen. Luke Mitchell can't pass here, but of course he will be close. Oh, and a bit twitch from Patrick Kerr. Luke Mitchell is trying in inside. Oh, he's a bit aggressive here again. Luke Mitchell, can Patrick Kerr get back? No, because Luke still has DRS, because at the activation point, Luke was still behind. Let's go to the lead. How many laps do we still have to go? Tom, I believe you've got 2 to go? 3 to go. Oh, but we've got an attack from Skoron on Branson. Oh, that they touched, and that just went okay, but they touched. So Guillaume really wants to have this win, but Skoron also really wants to have this win. This will be a very interesting final few laps. Let me see, and yeah, Dylan Platt got a bit closer now. Well, Luke Mitchell is now in P4, yes, with Patrick Magnussen in P5. Mateusz Guzowski is now in P6 with Casper Nicchio still in P7. He's driving quite a good race. Marco Felix in P8, Stefan Scheider P9, and a P10 is now for Remco de Zeeuw. So I believe Stefan Scheider passed Remco de Zeeuw, who still does a very good job in P10. Of course, 2 weeks ago he was P3, but I have a feeling this track is much more difficult, while Remco de Zeeuw went off. So he's struggling a bit. You're still there, Tom? I believe Tom can't hear me, or you can. Well, we've got a few laps to go. We now have got 11 laps completed. Let me look. Oh, it's so close, and Damien Skoron is trying to go for it. Beyond defense. Oh, and Skoron goes around the outside, brakes, looks up, brakes, yes, and now he lost a lot of time. He tried to go around the outside, but there was no grip around the outside, and Guillaume knew that, and Damien Skoron, I think, tried, and will he get another chance? I don't think so. Is this the job done for Guillaume Branson, or is Guillaume Branson not as quick at the moment, and can Damien get back? Let's see. Dylan Platt now is pretty close to Damien Skoron. Luke Mitchell still in P4. Patrick Kerr, Magnussen still in P5, driving a very good race still. The guy from Iceland.
Yep, I am back now. Sorry, it's just a few internet issues in my area at the moment. But yes, I am currently back in the moment. But yeah, Kozlowski on the back of Magnussen. Yeah, so Magnussen's obviously, like you said, started a good race in third. Obviously pressuring the leads early on. That's fallen back a little bit, but yeah, he's still got Kozlowski to contend with as they go down to this right-hander. Can Patrick hold him off? And I don't think he's going to have just enough space for Kozlowski to make a move.
Yes, well, I believe we've got 1 lap to go after this. Let me look. Yes, so leave the final lap now is on. Damien is getting closer and closer. Oh, Damien has a lightning pace. He's a bit quicker than Guillaume Branson at the moment, but Guillaume Branson has got a margin to play with, so that's interesting. Well, we've got a car off the track at the moment. Let's see. I'm not sure who that was. Keep watching. Well, Casper Nicchio made a mistake. He was in P7 before, but now he is in P9. It's now Marco Felix in P8 and Stefan Scheider in P7. But a bit of battles. Mateusz Guzowski in P6 is really close to Patrick Magnussen in P5, while Luke Mitchell is getting closer and closer to Dylan Platt, I wanted to say, but that is not Dylan Platt, so Luke Mitchell is a bit in nobody's land now. Guillaume is nearly home. He is close to the race win. Oh, there's blue flag there. Yeah, I think Guillaume has it, Tom.
Yeah, I think so. I can only apologise for the things that are happening. But yes, Guillaume Branton round the final corner, held off a spirited drive from Scouron, but Guillaume Branton does take the first victory today here at Melbourne. He crosses the line to win round 3, race 1 of the Academy Series 2021. Branton, great job there. It's followed by Scouron and Platt. Platt, a very good job actually from 5th in the grid position, third place, as Magnussen 4th and Zalski 5th.
Yeah. So very interesting from Dylan Platt as well. I think Dylan won it all at the start. He had a very good start, and a better start than I think the guys around him, and I think that helped him quite a bit, and his pace was pretty good while we're now waiting for everybody to finish.
Absolutely, we're just watching Jans Lepit follow across the line in 17th place. But overall, from what we saw at the front, pretty clean. Yeah, it was the odd, we had the odd incident here and there, but with a couple of wheel banging. But yeah, Branton did what he needed to do to win this race. Not by much of a gap, only about 7 tenths at the line. So just about did enough to win this race. Obviously, the top 15 will be reversed from these results here. So potential for more drama in race 2.
Yeah, that will be very interesting because of course the faster driver, the fastest drivers will now starting halfway down the field, so that will be interesting. And do we have some interesting names on pole? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So, well, I see. I'm not sure if you see that as well. What happened to Luke Mitchell? What happened to Luke Mitchell in the final lap?
I did see a car going off into the far chicane, so I'm wondering if that maybe potentially was Luke, because did see a car go off as they were battling around that area, so potentially an incident on the final lap.
Because I see him classified as P11 at the moment. Yeah, he lost his front wing the last lap, I believe, and I believe he finished as 11th, so that's interesting. So it's Guillaume Branton, then Scouron, then Platt, then Patrick Magnussen in P4, Guzowski in P5, and Stefan Scheider in P6, with Lazarus Filipakos in P7. And if that's the case, I cannot actually believe that, but it is the case. Lazarus Filipakos in P7, and that's very interesting because I didn't see him in the top 10 for the whole race. And when the flag is there, when the finish is there, he's in P7. So shout out to Lazarus Filipakos for a great race. Kasper Niccio in P9, Marco Felic in Kasper Niccio P8, Marco Felic P9, and your top 10 will be rounded out by Remco de Zeeuw.
Yeah, just reading on the Discord, potentially an incident with a lapped car for Luke Mitchell, so potentially why he managed to lose his front wing, which would be a huge thing. But yeah, shout out to Lazarus Filipakos. Yeah, I didn't see him in there either. He must have taken advantage of those last lap mentalness, and yeah, he managed to sneak himself a top 7. So well done to Lazarus from about 14th on the grid. Yeah, so a good little shout out to him there. But yeah, do you think Brandon had it under control, or do you think Scouron really was deciding to put the pressure on in those last couple of laps, because it did get quite close?
I think Scouron could have won it. Yeah, he looked so much quicker on the straights, but maybe not the right move. And I know Guillaume is quite smart in his defending, so he didn't give him a realistic chance. So Damien went for, I think, a all-in move just with a lot of risk, and it didn't pay out. But Damien needed to try something. I think his only chance was to try to surprise Guillaume in the braking zone. And he tried that, but he surprised himself as well. Still a very good drive from the top 3, but also from everybody, I think, lower in the field. I think the first 2-3 laps were quite good to see, not big incidents. So I'm proud of everybody. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
the first corner really was clean, wasn't it? Considering we
Yeah.
had quite a few guys on who doing their first race, aren't they? Obviously at the league, and to have to keep it clean for the first couple of laps, I don't think we saw a real incident really until about lap 4. So really good, well done to all these guys. Hopefully, they'll be able to do it again as we quickly go to obviously now we're just going to go through to the warm up session. Obviously, another 10 minutes for these guys to get ready. Oh, sorry, 5 minutes for this warm up. So we will be back in just a second for you guys to watch the second race here at Academy for GPVWC.
Yeah. Let's give everybody a bit of chance to change a few things. I believe in the setup and on the fuel, because if I remember it correctly, Tom, qualifying in race 1 is per Fermi, so you cannot change anything. But I believe from race 2 you can potentially drive with another setup or make more changes than you can after the qualifying. So that will be quite interesting. Like if you would know that you're starting in the top 3 of the reversed grid, then you can opt for maybe some lower wings to have more top speed and having a bigger chance on defending. It's all possible.
No, absolutely. Obviously, from this reverse grid as well, we're going to have someone, for example, like Guillaume having to fight his way through the field. How much of a difference do you reckon that'll make to the setups, having to try and fight their way through the field rather than just having it easy out on your own at the front?
Yeah, well, I think the fast guys in race 1 who are now starting 15 or close to that, they need to have a setup with more top speed, because they need to pass the other drivers. Otherwise, they will not get into the front for race 2. So yeah, it's very interesting. I already get some messages of people that really like the race so far and are looking forward for race 2.
Yep, just obviously got the just saying, looking through the chat. Thank you everyone who has joined us here for this Academy race here today for the first 2 races of the regular career ladder calendar. I should say, obviously, Academy does visit some other racetracks throughout the season as well. Obviously, they'll be announced in due course, but this will be the first one that's actually on the career ladder calendar itself, obviously being Melbourne. Just to give you guys a quick overview of the series coming up throughout the next couple of weeks. So we do have Formula Challenge tomorrow. So the junior series, as it were, for the team managers and that. Formula Challenge, which is the same cars, incidentally, as Academy, which makes Academy such a good proving ground for the new hot talent coming into the league. We then have Super Cup on Thursday. A new day for the Super Cup will be on Thursday evenings. From this year onwards, we are going to be seeing a different car this year. Like I said, as Robin and Chris, great jobs throughout all of winter to get these cars ready for us. And we'll be seeing them make their debut this season on Thursday, and then we go to next Tuesday. We start with the big boys. We've got Super League Lights, obviously where the team management comes into it. We have the R&D, we have the different teams and drivers and the test drivers involved, and they'll be kicking off next Tuesday from 7 o'clock as always. And then is the top of the cream of the crop, the top series here at GPVWC, the Super League Can Adonis Engineering. Obviously, I wonder who runs them, Menno. But yeah, the reigning champions Adonis. Oh yeah, I haven't got a clue. Adonis Engineering, the reigning champions, can they hold on to top spot? Adam Maguire and Adonis looking to start the season in the right way. And that'll be with you, myself and Jake Sanson at around 7:30 on Thursday evening next week. We're all very much looking forward to an incredible year of racing here at GPVWC for 2021. Menno, I mean, obviously we've had a long winter. We've all been itching to go, as you know. As you know, I've been itching to go as well. What are you looking forward to, just as a whole, for GPVWC this year? What are you really looking forward to in 2021?
Yeah, just the general racing. With now we have the new car, so it's really interesting how that will go with the new car and all the new drivers, and just getting up to speed again. Just the general aspect of competition is just something I look forward to, and I think all series will be really close, and you will have a lot of people who are capable of doing well, and that makes it very interesting. You can go to a track as a driver where you can drive top 5, but you can also like not even be in the top 10. That's how close I think all series are. So I think it all depends on your way of driving and a bit of luck maybe as well. And I'm looking forward to all the series. But of course, also tomorrow we will have the Formula Challenge, which is the same car as the Academy Series car. So I think that will be a good one to watch as well. Races will be slightly longer there, so a good watch. So I'm looking forward for that. But for now, of course, we wait for race 2, and let's see what the second race can bring for us. Because reverse grid will be a big chance for the not the top end drivers of the first race, the guys that maybe are a bit slower on race pace on this track or were a bit unlucky in the race, who can shine there. Actually, I'm not sure what you think, Tom. Luke Mitchell now finished in P11 after the incident in the last lap, but I think that can actually help him a lot for race 2, because I believe he only will start P5 there, and we saw how quick he was in the first race. What do you think, Tom?
Absolutely, yeah. If he can get a chance to get up into the field early on, it would be he's in a prime position, really, isn't he? It didn't really be better as if he finished a little bit further down, but yeah, he's in a good position to potentially take the win here in the second race. Kukshik is going to be starting on pole for race 2, so we're looking forward to see what he can do from the front of the grid. We are just waiting for Van der Stam to get back into the server. Just waiting, Mr. Mike Bell, the R&D race director for today, is going to be just waiting for him to come back into the server, and he will advance us to the second of our 12 races for tonight. To see Platt continuing his strong form of 38.5 in this warm-up session. Obviously, these guys, having had the practice now, obviously haven't been through an entire race, don't need to do as much practice for this one. Obviously, that's why we only had the 5-minute warm-up compared to the 10-minute one there. But a very, very exciting first race. We did. I suppose we just missed the. We did miss a really good overtake for Lazarus Philippakos. So 2 people around the outside of turn 11, which isn't easy, I can imagine. So shout out to him. That's potentially why he managed to get up into these up into the top 10 towards the end. But looking forward to another 12 laps of strong racing. Hopefully my internet will hold out for the entire 11 laps this time. 12 laps, sorry, rather than 8.5. But, it's exciting to see these guys coming through. Hopefully getting into this Formula Challenge. I know some of these guys do have a contract for potentially for Formula Challenge and above. So fingers crossed we'll see them higher up in the leagues, as we're now just waiting for Mr. Mike Bell to advance us to the next session and look forward to another 12 laps of fun and games.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm looking forward. Maybe race 2 will be a bit more drama, because that's of course the second and final race of the evening. So maybe people will now try to take a little bit more risk in the first few laps, also to maybe stay in a good position instead of being overtaken. So we might see a bit more drama in race 2, but maybe not. But we will find out soon enough. Well, I'm now looking into it. We still got 35 drivers in the session. I believe last race we had 36. So let me look.
I believe Philip Morby may not be in the server at the moment. I did see pop up saying he's playing Dirt Rally, so don't know if he'll be coming back. But yes, Olaf is now back in the server, and we are now just waiting for Mike. So just remind everyone what is expected of them in these first couple of laps, and then we will be moving on into the session. So like I said, Kukshik will be on pole for this race. How do you think he can do? Obviously, must have had a nice little steady race in race 1. How do you think he'll be able to do from pole position? As we'll obviously, as the grid rolls around, we'll be able to just let you know the grid as we go through it.
I think he can do quite well. He might be having a good chance. You would say he only finished P15 in race 1, but believe this is his debut, so yeah, I think he already learned a lot in race 1, and maybe he can go much better in race 2. And then having a pole position will, of course, help, because there's nobody in front who can annoy him, at least when he's got a good start.
Absolutely. So, as you said, Luke Mitchell going to be starting in 4th place for this race, as we have now gone over. Master R-Factor Man has said what he needs to say, and we are now into the race session drivers now, just getting onto the grid, obviously for this second race of 12 laps.
Yeah, and we're waiting for everybody to line up. If you are still standing there. 35 cars.
Yeah, just seen that Philip Morby's had a couple of issues with his game, so won't be able to make a return. So that is a shame. But yeah, we now have 35 runners and riders, which is still a pretty good turnout, considering obviously we have 40 places in the academy. So if you are interested for next time, obviously pop yourself on the list into the Discord, and Menno will be able to help you should you need any issues or encounter any issues. But we are now about to pull away. We have all 35 drivers on the grid for the warm-up lap, and we're just now waiting for them to get going, and off they go. So we have Szymon Kusiek on pole position for this second race of the evening, followed by Alfie Verschamen in 2nd place, followed by Vliestra in 3rd place. Luke Mitchell, who obviously had that incident on the final lap of the last race going into the final sector with a lapped car, is now in 4th place. So can he make a rise up through the places? I'm looking forward to see what he can do. Remco de Joux, obviously finishing in the top 10 last time out, starts in 5th place, followed by Marco Frelik in 6th. Kasper Nitscho starts where he finishes in 7th place, followed by Lazarus Philippakos, who obviously finished. Oh no, sorry, yes, Kasper goes up 1 place where he finished last time. Lazarus in 8th place, obviously after a last couple of mad laps to get himself up into the top 7 by the end of the race, followed by Stefan Schreider in 9th place, and rounding out the top 10 for this second race is Maciej Kozłowski, who pushed the top 4, top 5 quite hard actually in the first race, so we should see what he can do. I think he's ahead of those guys. Patrick Magnusson Luke Mitchell's actually had to go back to the pits for some reason. I can't see why he's had to go back to the pits, but Luke Mitchell unfortunately won't be able to take advantage of that high position, unfortunately. But yes, quickly back through the field. Magnusson in 11th place, followed by Dylan Platt in 12th place, Damien Skoron 13th place, and Guillaume Branton, Lars Races winner, in 14th place. Perseus Miram in 50th, followed by Johannes Lippert in 16th place. Jessica Pelletier into 17th place, John Sonneveld in 18th, followed by Ratek Search in 19th place. Saris rounds out the top 20 of this 35-man field. Denis Yushenko in 21st, obviously having a few issues in the early part of the last race. In 21st, John Clark. 22nd on the grid, David Lewis in 23rd, followed by Alex Skinner on 24th position. Rick Versma in 25th place, followed by Ryan Easton in 26th. Van der Stam hopefully will have his now game issues sorted and in 27th place, followed by Varenga 28th, Panos Sidis 29th, and Oscar rounds out the top 30. The final few cars on the grid: Ed Straw 31st, Kevin Voish in 32nd, McLean 33rd, Newenberg 34th, and Harry Hayden rounds out your runners and riders. As Newenberg off the grass for some reason, but he'll be out nice and safely. But yes, Harry Hayden rounds out your runners and riders of the 35 car field, as we now leaders now getting into their grid slots now, just waiting for the rest of the cars to line up. Obviously Luke's now not going to be able to make a start. Obviously let's start from the pit lane. What do you think is going to happen now that he's not going to be there? Who do you think you're going to see, or do you think we're going to see Branton fight his way back through the field quickly?
I think there's a big chance Branton and Skoron will do quite well. I think I predict Remco de Zeeuw will do really well in the second race. That's my prediction.
I'm going to go with Marco Frelik as the lights are now on. 3, 4, 5 lights, and race 2 is underway. Lights did not hold on for very long there, as there we go. Luke Mitchell not leading the race, but Kusiek has a great start there, and Verkamen can't quite make news, but let's make it now. We're going to go through turn 1. Verkamen has a little look, but we've got a spin. I'm not sure if it was a spin. There was a bit of a slide, but everyone managed to somehow, not quite, almost managed to sort it out. Only a little bit of a bang on the wall, but we've got someone injured about it below. That's not always good, but yeah. Kusiek gets the job done in the first couple of corners and leads the way.
And I'm now looking who's the biggest gainer at the moment, so I can actually not find it. So it's Kusiek in P1, then it's Alfie Verkamen now in P2, who's still challenging quite close. Stan Fritscha in P3 with Remco de Zeeuw now in P4. He should have decent speed, so maybe he can pass the 3 ahead of him. P5 is Casperniccio. And P6 now is Damon Scoron, already P6. So he will have a big chance. Well, I see there is a battle for the lead. It was close. Szymon Frelik is getting battled by Alvin Verkamen. What do you see, Tom?
I see the top four all together. You got four. They're going to go double slide into the chicane. They managed to think better of it, but Kushik, manages to hold them off there for Cameron. Actually, almost somehow they stay as quite in 5th place. Casperniccio is going to have a great run, and Remco de Joux going into this corner now. Can he make it? Goes up the inside. Oh, there's a bit of a tap there, Niccio. Turns in on. Wow, on earth they managed to stay going. Great car control there, but now.
But Guillaume Brunson plus David Scoron, they're next to each other. Yes, they both want to have the race to win. There is a spinner.
That was actually the leader, pole position man. It's now got round. I think he's managed to hold it now into 4th place, now back into 5th. But yeah, must have been. I'm not sure if there was a tap there from Verkamen. Verkamen leads him over the line.
Look at P2. Look at P3. Casperniccio now going for P2. Oh, it's so close, but Casperniccio now is going to P2. So it's Verkamen now in the lead. He needs to drive as fast as he can, but Casperniccio is in P2. Stan Fritz at P3. And Damon Scoron now in P4, but Guillaume Branton is still very close in P5 with Mateusz Guzowski in P6 with the leader or pole position man Szymon Frelik in P7. Remco de Joux now in P8. Yeah, he had a incident. Well, I believe we lost somebody. Was that our pole position man who had a slight freeze, Szymon Frelik? Yeah, I believe so. He's now in P8. Dylan Platt is now in P9, and Stefan Scheider now in P10.
Yeah, I wonder if there's maybe a coming together at the second to last corner between Verkamen and Kushik, because he was definitely in the lead going into that corner, but now he's obviously now under threat from 9th place Dylan Platt. Seems to be it's a really shame really, because it's going to be aiming for a nice race, but now Ditcho in 2nd place. We have known how quick he is all year. Can he try and take the lead from Verkamen? Yes, Go-Rod and Branson now 4th and 5th, 2nd and 1st from the last race, obviously. How much progress can they make? Because actually we've got a battle for 3rd place between Viesha and Skorod. Skorod's actually making a little bit of gain, but it can't quite get past him into that corner.
Was a bit of I think a block from Stan Vlietstra, who tried to...
Oh, that's a move for the lead from Nitsio, but he makes it stick. Nice opportunistic move there. Verkamen goes off in trying to avoid it, but yes, well done. And now 3rd place Relestra is going to have a move on Verkamen.
Yeah, and now we've got Scoron. It's rush hour at the moment. Oh, look at Scoron. Scoron is going for it. Oh, into P3. Stan Vlietstra is braking early, and there you've got Guillaume. Guillaume wants to pass Stan Vlietstra as well. Well, I believe it's DRS time or not yet. Yeah,
it will be. I'm not sure what happens for this corner here, because obviously the detection point's a bit further down the grid. But yeah, Scoron into P3 now, and Branton now into 5th. He's trying to get Viesha and stay in contact with Scoron. Feels a chance of winning this race, but now Nitsio just needs to put the hammer down and try and get away from the Verkamen and try and pull away. Obviously, we know how quick he can be. Scoron setting fast after the race last time, a 39.0 as opposed to a 40.8 from Verkamen. But still a long way to go. Still 10 laps to go of this race, and anything can happen.
Yeah, well, we already have a few people who actually, were retiring. So I think there was some sort of a crash. Well, I see somebody who went wide is Olaf van der Stam, who was, I believe, higher up and now is in P20 first. Now let's go back to the leader pack. Well, it's still Casperniccio in P1, yeah, and with Damon Scorer now in P3, he needs to run his way as hard and as fast as he can, because if Damien Scorer is in P2, then it will be nearly impossible for Casperniccio to hold that off.
This is Scorer trying to make a move up for Cameron after the chicane, down the long straight into that next right-hander. He's trying to make a move, but locked up the tyre, and Cameron blocked it off, so now it's giving Nitsio a chance to try and escape, but they have all now got DRS, and that includes 2nd place, so Nitsio hasn't quite managed to break the effect of DRS. Scorer now struggling to get close, actually, to Cameron in front of him, so this could give Nitsio the chance to try and make that escape, with Branton looking very racy, looking like he may have actually got a warning there for cutting turn 1 there, so on the outside, so very pushing very hard, but it seems to be struggling to overtake here.
Yeah, it's pretty close at the moment. Let me look. Yeah, Casperniccio is quite fast still. But I give you a thought now, Tom. Do you want to drive away as fast as you can, or do you want the number 2 to be in DRS? Because if the number 2 is in DRS, the number 3, which is Demon Scoron, can't pass that easily.
Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? I personally, I would say, well, drive away as fast as you can, let them battle a bit. I mean, obviously, it's different from my point of view, because obviously, as you know, we're both very experienced. We've probably got a chance of defending. But yeah, obviously, I know Nietzsche's having to defend there, because you feel like he had the need to defend the partial game there.
Alfie looks
looking really quick. Yeah, he's looking very quick. He's going to have DRS as well. Probably not going to be able to make a move a bit too far back here going into this right-hander. But yeah, we've got a battle for fourth place. Branson up the inside of Viestra. Viestra goes a little bit in deep on the right. And Branson, they're side by side, but Branson does have the line and should make this thing 6th place as well. Looking to have a look as well. And does so. Very good move there from Kozlowski, but Branson into 4th place.
Yeah, Branson needs to speed up if he wants to get in the top 3. Maybe he gets some help from the from Nietzsche. If he defends hard, then Guillaume can catch the top 3, of course. Oh, and we've got a mistake from Nietzsche. Oh, huge mistake. And now, Verkamer makes a mistake. He runs into the back. What will Scoron do? Scoron will go around the outside, but can he make this the move stick for P2? No, Alfie is still there. Oh, a bit banger racing. Oh, they're going for it.
Oh yeah, no, touch again as well. Yeah.
Keep it clean, boys. Keep it clean. You need to do a clean overtaking. Yeah, and if you now look at Guillaume Branson, he thinks every corner you make a bad exit, I will gain. Yes, Guillaume was out the battle of the top 3, but now he will be close. And look at the top 3. Yeah, Guillaume is still in it, and in a matter of 3-4 corners, he just gets closer. He now is in the group, and Mateusz Guzowski is in the group as well, and Remco will get in the group, and I think Dylan as well, and Stan maybe as well. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. There was a 2-second gap, and he's managed to close up in about 2 corners. But yeah, it was a little bit banger racing in there.
But
a little bit of damage, but yeah,
you can
really have back up.
Yeah, sorry. You can bully each other a lot. Well, there's a mistake from Scoron, and Guillaume is next to it. No, Guillaume cannot do it. Yeah, and if you go to the attack, and you cannot make the attack actually work, then you need to defend. So Mateusz Guzowski was close. Well, we got a battle for the lead. Alfa Verkamer is trying to pass Kasper Nietzsche. No, not at the moment.
What he needs to do is focus on there we are. What an exit. Scoron actually blocks him off on the apex. Luckily, it might actually have worked in his favour, but Verkamer looking very racy, as you said. Got speed, I think, on Nietzsche. Is he going to try and move around the outside? No, decides against him with Nietzsche. But it's very defensive there. Can he make an advantage of it there? No. Just going to follow him through this tight, twisty section, but now they'll give Scoron and Guillaume Branson the opportunity to catch back up. This is very close. I wouldn't be able to predict who's going to win this race.
Oh, this is so exciting. Everybody can still win, and yeah, now Kasper Nietzsche has a good chance, but look at the whole field. It's so racy. And Alfie Verkamer is trying there, and now Alfie Verkamer made a mistake that will cost him his entry. Alfie Verkamer is defending. Oh, that's a bit too much. This is a bit too much. That was a bit too much, Alfie. That was a bit over the line. Oh, and it's now Guillaume against. Damien.
It's happened!
Yes,
no!
Yeah.
They all managed to keep going. Somehow they've all got their wings. Scoron and Branson side by side, obviously not wanting to give each other an inch, and obviously contact was inevitable, and Branson up to 3rd, Scoron down to 5th. But yeah, quite a few people involved in that. Yeah,
that was the, how you say, Constantina effect. One slows down, we're in the middle of the corner, and yeah, everybody's going there with such high entry speed that you cannot do anything. So who's the biggest loser from that battle there, Tom?
I would have probably said Kozlowski. Kozlowski was looking pretty good, actually, looking nice and there in about 4th, 5th place, and now he's down to 10th place. As actually we've now got a battle again for the lead. Can Alfie get it? This time Alfie obviously a little bit aggressive in his defensive moving earlier on the last lap, but maybe Nietzsche can now read that and they'll hopefully try and
I've got a feeling Guillaume Branson is just looking to this fight, and he thinks like, okay guys, you can bully each other really hard, and when you do something stupid, then I will be the one that will do the smart thing here. So will be interesting.
Interesting to see in the comments, obviously, a couple of people commenting on what the defending was. Obviously, yep, very, very hard.
Yeah,
very hard testing and defending
that's
here. So
yeah, I would say a bit over the line. Well, oh, it's now so close for the top 3. Yeah, one of them. If one of them makes a bad exit, then it's all possible for all 3 of them. Well, now Alfie Verkamen is trying. Mistake. But I see Caspadiccio struggling under braking, and you see that. Now Alfie Verkamen has the inside, and Alfie Verkamen will get the lead. Look at Guillaume Brunson. Guillaume Brunson now gets to P2. No, it's Nietzsche again, and now Guillaume gets it. Guillaume from P3 to P1. That's a classy move. He saw that coming. The 2 purple cars were just in each other's way. He knew exactly that was coming, and he went from P3 to P1. That's a pro move, I would say, Tom, right?
Absolutely. He knew what was going to happen. He's seen these 2 battling, bashing each other off the track, left, right and centre.
Yeah.
Just tongue back a little bit, break about 10 minutes earlier, let these 2 have their incident. I think Nietzsche was very, very opportunistic in that move, if I'm honest. Yeah, but, yeah, it's worked out for Branson. Branson now into the lead, and he's probably now going to drive away. Yeah,
I think what it is, you can brake late, but you cannot brake later than late. And I think Guillaume already knew, like, oh no, that is too late. And with the angle Nietzsche had, that would have been an incident for sure. And Guillaume saw that and did a quite good move. But can Guillaume now pull away? That will be very interesting. Let me actually give you the top 15 at the moment.
Ooh, there's a big old battle, quickly, sorry to interrupt you, man. There's a big old battle for 7th and 8th place between Yushenko, Lazarus, Filipakos. Oof! Who else is involved in that? Gajovsky and Dejoux. And Schreider. There's a big old gap there. I think Valestria just ahead of him managed to escape from this, but all side by side going through these 3 corners. Hopefully we won't have another incident as we saw a couple of laps ago. They all seem to sort themselves out before we get there. But yeah, good fighting throughout the field.
Verkamen for P2. Oh, don't do anything stupid, guys.
Still bashing.
Oh, come on, guys. This is not banger racing. I mean, yeah. Some people think this is Wreckfest maybe, but it isn't. But you need to drive nice, guys. You can all do some nice overtaking.
Yeah, what a save there from Scola. I don't quite know how he's managed to save that, but he's now under pressure there from Platt as he goes to turn 1. I think maybe Platt has not quite got enough space there, but yeah, Nizio and Verkamen. Going to be some, I think I want some choice words between the 2 after this race. There've been some pretty questionable defending on both starts, and it's going to be interesting to see who it is.
Oh, late move from Verkamen. Come on, for Alfie, you just pushed him out of the way. And Casper, what are you not doing? Yeah, I think you do smart to not rejoin there. Oh, and there's Damien Scoron already. But Alfie is a bit too aggressive. Oh, well, there is a big move for Dylan Platt on Casper. So it's going a bit wild at the moment. Can Damien Scoron pass Alfie Verkamen now for P2?
Just watching a replay of that incident, I know that you did say, yeah, Verkamen. Yeah. Oh, Nietzsche, to be fair to him, did move very, very late. I don't actually think personally if Verkamen actually had anywhere to go. I mean, yeah, it was very, very late.
If you're committed, then yeah, then of course.
Oh, we come back live and they're side by side. Oh my word, Scoron and Verkamen showing you how it's done. Side. Here we go again, 3 wide.
No, you know 3 wide will not work. Be sensible. And look at Dylan Platt. Dylan Platt thinks, oh yes. Oh, hey, we've got a big accident.
No.
And that was going to happen.
I think they might actually be stuck together. Another R-Factor 2 feature.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's a car, that's Platt. Oh no. What
but guys, there is a yellow flag. Yellow flag, guys. You know there is carnage here. There is a yellow flag. You should have seen that. At least when you were 1 second behind. So, who do we miss? Stan Vliester in P8 now with a lost front wing. Who are the others?
All this actually is Dejoux now up to 4th, Platt up to 3rd.
Yes. Yeah, it's also about smart driving. So Stan Vlietstra, Dennis Yushenko lost the front wing, and Stefan Scheider as well. Oh, Stefan, shame. So yeah, it's a bit too aggressive, I would say. And yeah, Damien Scoron is out. Oh, poor Damien.
I was getting Platt manages to actually get through that mayhem just about. I don't know who that car.
Oh, what happened there? I think it was Casperniccio who was in P2, but now is in P3. Dylan Platt now is in P2. Yeah, a lot is happening that even we are lost count. So I can tell you, Guillaume Branton is still in the lead. I think his lead is about
6 and 7 second lead now. So Branton, I think, unless he makes a big error, has this under control. But yeah, Platt and Dijou actually have these two probably the biggest. With Philip Harkos as well up into 6th place. Philip Harkos working his way through the field as well. So good stuff. I mean, Kushik actually making his way back up into the top 10. So shows that being patient and getting not involved in incidents really does actually help your race.
I think the guys with the biggest IQ at the moment are Remco de Zeeuw and Lazarus Filipakos. They really seem to know just to be calm, and you might not be there at the beginning of the race, but if you're there at the end of the race with a decent result, you can be proud.
So as Guillaume Branton's casually setting fastest laps of the race up front at 37.9 from Branton. That time, as we had 2 laps of this race to go, he currently has a 6.7 second lead over Dylan Platt. Dylan now well clear of Nizio. I think he'll be quite safe there from any attack on there. Dijou in 4th place, doing a great job to make his way back up after the early incidents early on. Gajowski as well, and Philip Harkos in 6th place. But a bit more of an action-packed race this one, Menno.
Yeah, I expected as much. This is the second race of the evening, so people want to try to make something of this opportunity they have been given. But yeah, Guillaume Branton looked really good and really smart in his moves. He actually knew he didn't need to be there at the beginning, but halfway the race was good enough. And now there is no pressure for Guillaume, so Guillaume can just put in the laps and he's relaxed. Relax, because there is no pressure, and that's drives so beautifully when you don't have pressure.
Yeah, it's nice and easy just to not worry about what you've got in front of you, what you've got behind you. Just carry on, cracking the laps. And Nizio goes very wide there. Still putting the pressure action on Platt. It's not run away from him as much as we thought. But, it's a quick shout actually to Sonveld in 9th and McLean in 10th. They started quite far down. As did Stam and Skinner admittedly as well. So 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th really have made. Harry Hayden started this race in 35th place and is now in 13th. What a rise through the pack.
Yeah, I think it's also the nature of the track. One guy makes a mistake, and then because we've got a load of fast corners, some people cannot avoid the incident, more or less. So I think that's I think what happened with a few guys that maybe spun out or had a fast spin or maybe lost a front wing. It's because of that when you're coming around a fast corner, which is maybe blind like we have in sector 2, and there's a car standing there stationary, then it's difficult to not hit it if you only see it at the last moment.
Yeah, obviously, I think where that positioning wasn't the easiest. Obviously, it was just past the apex, wasn't it? Obviously, the other flags are there for a reason. Obviously, you need to make sure you're looking up your flag meanings, boys and girls. But yes, it's a shame how it ended. But we did have cracking more ways than one race in the first couple of laps. But now, following John McLean in a moment as he battles with Twin Sonveld for 9th place. John McLean, like I said, both him and Sonveld actually both started way down in the field and worked their way up through the field very cleanly. So good stuff to them. But Guillaume Branton is on his final lap and is about to win race 2 of the evening, Menno.
Yeah, and that would be very interesting. This is the
Nizio's gone off! He's lost his front wing!
Oh no! What happened there? Oh, Casperniccio, oh, you're so fast, but you need to get it to the finish.
As Guillaume Branton comes over and does the double, wins race 2 of the 3rd round of Academy here in Melbourne. Dylan Platt manages to cross the line in 2nd place. We're going to have a replay to see what Nizio did. I think it's coming out of this fast chicane. Yeah, he just puts it on the line too much, tries to correct it, and then goes over that nasty bump. I think Grosjean may actually, funny enough, have done the similar thing a few years back. But yeah, unfortunately for him, finishes the race without a front wing and down in 7th place, I believe. Yep, it's going to be in 7th place. So Guillaume Branton wins race 2, as I said, with Dylan Platt in 2nd place. Dijou in 3rd place, rounding out the podium. A great recovery drive from Dijou, obviously having a issue early on and now finding back to the podium. A great stuff from him. Gajowski finishes 4th, and Philip Harkos rounds out your top 5. It's a great drive from him as well to make up some places in the last few laps. As we're just waiting for the rest of the runners and riders to come. Oh, dearie me, what on earth is going on there?
This was a very, very interesting race too. So, at the Turkish Academy round, we had twice Tom Voss winning the race. 2 weeks ago at Kilami, it was twice Damien's Cohen who won the race, and now it's twice Guillaume Branton who wins the race. So that's I see yeah, something developing here. But yeah, it was action-packed race 2. So yeah, loved that, I would say. You loved it as well, I guess, Tom?
I love all forms of racing, you know me.
Yeah,
John Clark, has he run out of fuel? He's on screen at the moment. I think he may have actually run out of fuel.
Oh,
He's
no.
so close to the end, but unfortunately, oh dear. Well, he's going to make it over the line in an unconventional style, but yeah.
I get a Jensen Button vibes here, who stopped, I believe, in front of the finish line once. I believe.
Blown engine, the blown engine in 2005, I believe it was. But yeah.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. But yeah, this is really painful if you're standing there. Yeah, and now he actually gets a bump. But that's maybe not the right way to go. And yeah, it still doesn't finish. He's now upside down just before the finish. So yeah, he's still rolling. So he might make it. Oh, this is great television. And he finished! Yes, guys! This is amazing. John Clark in P22nd. Well done. We now got all finishes. So yeah. So that's good to see.
So there we go. We do have some. So we had, in the end, we had 22 people finishing the crossing the finish line. Obviously, one of them only just, but he did finish. So we have, obviously, we'll go run through our top 10. As you can see on the screen, Guillaume Branton wins, does the double, does a Tom Voss and a SCO run, as we've done so far. Like I said, Menno, a bit of a pattern theme coming on here. But yes, Guillaume Branton wins race 2 of the third round of Academy Series. Dylan Platt, second place. Dejoux, third place. Gajowski, fourth. Philip Harkos in fifth. Verkamen in 6th, Nietzsche 7th, Kushik 8th, Sonnenveld 9th, and John McLean rounds out the top 10 for the second race. We do have a couple of people in the booth, see if we can get a couple of interviews. I think we'll only do podium finishers for today. We'll see if we can drag.
We shall see who's all there. That will be will be interesting.
So I do have someone. I've managed to drag someone in, and his name is Guillaume Branton. Won both races here this evening. Congratulations, Guillaume. I remember you saying to me yesterday when you were practicing on the server, I don't know how fast I am, don't know what I'll do. Well, you've only gone and won both races, so well done. How was it for you today?
So yeah, it started off with a bit of trouble because my game crashed mid-quali. I had to restart it, didn't work for 3 times. Had to restart my PC, and then I had 1 lap to do the quali. I was down on my lap, and eventually in the last sector, to my surprise, I actually got the pole. But I gotta say, Damien was really quick. And then in race 1, it was also tough. Not as tough as last year with the tires, fortunately. But all worked well. And then race 2, I actually forgot to change the settings, so I was lifting and coasting for the first few laps. Eventually, it all worked out, and then I started to push more. Don't really know what happened between me and Damien, but I'd have to look into that. I thought I left him enough space, but I don't know. It sure as hell feels good to win both races.
Yeah. So we saw in race 2 that you were stuck behind the rather volatile, shall we say, battle between Verkamen and Nietzsche, and obviously you took advantage in the end of that of them obviously taking each other off pretty much. How hard was it to keep your concentration during that? Because I know if that was me, I'd be pretty scared. So is it just a case of picking your moment, obviously, which you did very well? Was it a case of just keeping calm?
Yeah, actually, I was more stressed in the first race. Because in the second race, I knew that because they was going so aggressively that if I waited a bit longer, that maybe I could take my chance and overtake them. And eventually it came, so it worked out.
Well, once again, very well done. Obviously, you got the double, and obviously pole position. I think you just missed out on fastest lap in that race, but Oh no, you did. Yeah, you must have got faster lap. Yeah, so very well
On
done.
race
Yeah,
two,
so
I did, not on race one.
Oh no, Frelik, just pipped you at the end actually, I think, for the fastest lap there at the end. But yes, well done, Guillaume. Hopefully we'll see you on the grid very soon. Obviously, very, very fast driver considering the equipment you race on. So well done for today.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you.
No problem. I'm gonna drag Dylan Platt in to the room now. So Dylan, obviously finished race. Hello.
Hello.
You in out of nowhere. Race 2, finished second place. Can't quite remember how you did in race 1, but race 2, obviously second place. Few incidents early on, having to work your way through the carnage that was the front of the pack in race 2. How was race 2 from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it was very chaotic at points. So I just was like, if I see any chance for a crash, I'm just gonna go tight inside or tight outside. Try and do anything I can to avoid it. Which obviously worked at points. Got to P2 by pure luck, and obviously all the crashing in front of me was really unfortunate for them.
Yeah, it was obviously a few incidents here and there. Obviously, third place. You've just seen results. Third place in race 1 as well. You were really keeping up with the leaders quite well in the first race, and obviously dropped off a little bit towards the end. Was that a case of just the tyres coming out, or do you think they just stepped up a little bit more?
Yeah, I think it's just a mixture of tyres. Obviously their pace is just mad, and towards the end I was just like, okay, I'm not going to beat them. I'm just gonna take it easy. And,
It's worked out. I mean, worked out double podium, not something to be sniffed at. Obviously, only really beating on the night by Branton over the 2 races. So, well, very much well done. Have you got any plans for the season, or are you just gonna plod on with Academy for now and then hopefully find a seat for the future?
I'll just see, how things roll on, sort of thing. I'm enjoying it in Academy. I did 1 race in FC last season, and I found that really fun. So. It's
good stuff. So well done for tonight. Hopefully we'll see you again in the next Academy race. And yeah, once again, well done on 2 podiums tonight.
Yep, thank you.
So I'm going to bring one more person in. I'm going to... Oh.
Are you getting me excited? Who are you bringing in, Tom? And I believe he disconnected. So let's see who we still have here. Yeah, let's wait for Tom for a moment. I think he can be reconnecting soon. There we have him.
Did it again. Sorry, goodness sake. Right. I'm gonna bring one more. Sorry, I'm not sure if you caught it, but I'm gonna bring one more guy in. Didn't quite finish on the podium, but the guy I'm about to drag in, his race 2 was rather impressive. John McLean, race 2 started in 33rd place and finished in 10th. So a rise of 23 places. John, talk us through race 2. How did you get there?
I have absolutely no idea. I think I made maybe 2 or 3 genuine solid overtakes. Had a massive but great battle with Alex. Where I managed to get him around the outside on turn 4 or turn 3. I can't remember exactly when. But yeah, it was a lot of it was just avoid crashing and avoid the mad contact. I think on lap 1 I gained about 10 places just by avoiding the chaos, I guess, that came out of the fast chicane. Kind of left the foot in, which could have ended very badly. But no, it was a really good battle across for a lot of people. Don't know what was shown on the TV, but it was thoroughly enjoyable, and it clicked for the first time, I think, in this season for me, where everything just kind of came into place. Big props to Mike Bell for giving me a bit of advice on getting my wheel set up. The tire deck this time round was absolutely perfect. I probably have more room actually, but yeah, no, it was all good. As I said, I want to get that replay of the fight with Alex.
Well, I mean, like I said, keeping a cool head, very, very key in something in a race like this, obviously, where you've got people going off left, right, and centre. But yeah, well done for getting a 23 place gain. I haven't seen that for a long time. Are we going to see you again on Academy? Have you got any plans for maybe even to FC in the future, or are you just going to plod along in FC and Academy, just see how it goes for now?
I mean, I'll speak to Menno, see what he says about maybe getting the academy seat at some point. But for the time being, just need to keep getting my eye in, keep practicing. Get once I've got the setup down to a T and I'm really content with it, then I'll be able to just make some solid gains. And I reckon the goal is to always aim for the top 5 at like a few of the races. I did quite close last year, and again that's the aim for this year.
Lovely. Well, like I said, well done on your 10th place, and hopefully, we'll see you in the future.
Cheers, man.
I think we'll end it there. Obviously, it's been a long evening for myself and Menno. We had 2 great races. Menno, what do you make of the evening as a whole?
Yeah, I think it was quite interesting evening. I think quite successful. We saw some really good racing. Race 1 was really good and quite clean. I think race 2 was, as expected, a bit more, more aggressive. People noticed the last chance of the evening, so that went a bit more wild. And we had some unlucky incidents while, somebody spun and some other just hit him because they couldn't avoid. But overall, I think we saw some good racing, some smart racing from people, and and I think some people are just now found out they might have the speed, but they need to work on their racecraft. So I think overall, I think a very decent third round for this Academy series.
So I just want to say thank you very much to everyone who's been involved, both on the broadcast side, on the graphic side, on the video side of everything that we've had managed to do tonight. Thank you to Mr. Frelik for being our broadcast extraordinaire tonight. Thank you very much for catching all the action and having a play with all our new features. So very big thank you to you. Thank you to Menno for being my co-commentator tonight, explaining a few things about the Academy series. And just look forward to seeing you all for the next few races. Obviously, like I said, Formula Challenge is next up tomorrow from 7:30 tomorrow evening UK time, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much. My name's been Tom Parker, and I will see you very, very soon. Thank you.